The fire devastated part of the Dixon apple orchard last week. Today, there are new concerns. This place that families have been visiting since the 1940s could be in big trouble. News 13's Jeff Todd is live in the Newsplex with that story.
Up to 350 trees have already been destroyed, not to mention the owner's house and several other buildings. But now there's a race against time to keep the Dixon apple orchard from getting wiped out.
It could be worse than the fire itself.
The Las Conchas fire burned nearly 20,000 acres just west of the Dixon apple orchard. And as the clouds build over the Jemez mountains, the apple farm could be in even more danger from monsoon storms.
That's why we're really scared, and we're moving stuff to just higher ground at this point. And then we're going to start cleaning out the creek bed, is hopefully starting tomorrow.
The creek through the orchard is tiny, only a foot or two deep at most points, but with no vegetation higher up the canyon to help slow runoff, there could be 10 to 20 times more water coming right through the canyon.
The volume of water can blow the entire apple orchard out of the way.
We need the rain really bad for the orchard, but the flooding concern's really scary.
And the owners do not have crop insurance.
The whole scope of this thing is just way more than what Becky and I can afford.
But the land commissioner says the problem goes far beyond the apple orchard.
It doesn't just stop at the Dixon apple orchard. That feeds right into Cochiti Lake, and Cochiti Lake is one of the major water supplies for the city of Albuquerque.
Federal officials are working with the state to do something about the potential flooding in the area.
The price we're going to pay if we don't do anything is going to be a whole lot bigger than if we spend the money on the front end.
Now here's the problem. The apple orchard sits right about here at the edge of Cochiti Canyon, and about 20,000 acres or 6 miles up the canyon have all burned. So if it rains, there's no vegetation in this area and the water would just shoot right down the canyon. Now the land commissioner said that's the problem for every canyon that the Las Conchas has burned, and there are only a few people in New Mexico who know how to mitigate what could be disastrous flooding. So they're working feverishly to determine which areas need the most attention, and this may not just be a problem right now. The devastation and flood potential could go on for years. Kim, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Now, the land commissioner says it is a race against the rain, and mitigation plans should start being executed by the end of the week. Those at Dixon say they plan on having a small harvest this year. They still don't know how the ash will affect the apple tree.